Hello, welcome to Interdisciplinary Studies with Virginia Commonwealth University and the University College. Our staff welcomes you. Dr. Zach Hilpert is our interim director, Dr. Mariah Crilly, assistant professor and coordinator of internships and independent study. And our three advisors are Mr. Richard Quashie, advisor for last names A through C, Mr. Tim Marker, names D through M, and Ms. Martha Harper, names N through Z. We look forward to meeting with you, and we're glad that you've joined us for this presentation. First of all, let's talk a little bit about what interdisciplinary studies is. It's been around since the 1970s in one form or another at VCU. It started in the College of Humanities and Sciences and now lives within the University College, mainly because focused inquiry is an interdisciplinary approach to teaching students college-level skills. So it's a perfect fit for us, and we're happy to be part of that. So students choose interdisciplinary studies for a variety of reasons. Some students may be towards the end of a program and they're unable to complete the program they're in or dissatisfied with it, and they decide that they want to add some other knowledge bases together to put into a major to complete college in the shortest time possible. Other students come to us as freshmen. They have looked over all of the degrees at VCU. Perhaps they saw a degree from another program at an out-of-state college, and they're trying to put together something similar to what they saw at that college while still attending an in-state program. Other students are just multimodal. There isn't really one major that holds them down or that they want to go deep into. For example, you might have a pre-medical student who knows a certain set of science classes have to be completed in order to be eligible for medical school. Those classes are biology and chemistry, but that doesn't mean the student wants to fully study biology or fully study chemistry. Perhaps they want to add in some social science to that. Maybe they want to continue dancing from their dance program, and so they're going to add in science and dance to put together an intersection of something that is meaningful to them and meaningful to what they may do with their patients in the future. Perhaps they'll use dance as a form of therapy. You get the idea. Currently, right here, you see what are some current majors of students who are at the Interdisciplinary Studies program now or who have recently graduated. So for instance, this student is studying a fashion merchandising minor along with a mass comm minor in media studies with an advertising focus. This student took coursework within the School of Education and is now taking public policy coursework and is going to put those together because she wants to advocate for people with disabilities for her lifelong career. Juvenile behavioral interventions was a student who's put together criminal justice and psychology, mostly taking psychology courses that center around adolescent development. Business communications is one of our most common pathways. The students from the School of Business have often added media studies minors so that they can be consummate communicators within the business or organization they're working for, both internally and externally. So how do these programs work, and how does a student get to the point where they can identify their own interest area and individualized degree plan? Let's talk about that. First, the university bulletin states that you have to have a GPA of 2.0 or higher. No student graduates from Virginia Commonwealth University with a 1.99. Every student must also have 120 total credits, of which 45 have to be upper level. Upper level meaning 300 and 400 level classes. That means if you're close to 75 credits in low-level classes, you need to be sure that you're talking to an advisor and calibrating your plan to make sure you don't have to go over 120 to receive your diploma. So the Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies focus area, which you might think of as the major, has to fit within those parameters. And so most majors at VCU are made up of 39 to 45 credits, and so is ours. You have to have 13 to 15 classes that will become the classes we call your major, or in our program, your focus area. Of those 13 to 15 classes, 24 credits or 8 classes have to be upper level, meaning 300 or 400 level. A student also has to have the university minimum of a 2.0 by the time of graduation in order to receive their diploma. But the good news is a student does not have to have a 2.0 in order to come into our program and get started. Finally, students have to have at least 12 credits left to complete or one more semester of college in order to receive the Bachelor of Interdisciplinary Studies degree. We have 2 required courses in our program: Interdisciplinarity Theory and Practice, UNIV 301, is a prerequisite to Interdisciplinary Studies capstone course, UNIV 499. In some rare cases, a student may co-requisite 301 and 499 if they have only one semester left of college. But for most students, they will take UNIV 499 in their final semester and UNIV 301 in the semester preceding that. UNIV 303 is required of students who will be in the program for 3 or more semesters, interdisciplinarity in the professional world. Your advisor will help you decide if that remains in your focus area or if it is waived due to having less time left. So how do you begin? Well, on our Interdisciplinary Studies webpage, you can easily find the declaration. It's listed right down here, and it looks like this. In the blue box, you'll find the directions on how to first copy it, because it's a read-only form, and save it in your own name. Save it anywhere that you prefer in your Google Drive. And once it's saved, you want to share it. You're going to share it with bis@vcu.edu, Z. Hilpert, our director, and then the appropriate advisor. My last name is Harper, so T. Marker, if I was a student, would be my advisor. You can say something like, here is my declaration. I look forward to meeting with you. So back to our presentation. This is a close-up of those directions, and we'll go through the form now part by part. Also expected of all students is a signed addendum of understanding. The addendum of understanding allows your advisor to change your major to interdisciplinary studies once the declaration process is complete and your plan to study is approved by the director. The first part of the form is really just data about you, so we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on that. If there are any questions you're really not sure of the answer in here, it's okay to leave them blank until you meet with your advisor. The next section is all about the university core. Every student at VCU completes the university core, and it's made up of 30 credits that are designated by the university as part of that core. The way to fill this part of the form out is to have your DegreeWorks open, and then simply plug and play everything that you've done exactly as it is in this section of DegreeWorks. Note here that this student took ENG 112 at community college, but we put UNIV 200, Inquiry and Craft of Argument, in the declaration. I do not need to see ENG 112 here. We just need to see the course that it was equivalent to at VCU. If you've taken more than one humanities fine arts choices, you're only going to use one, and we prefer you use the one that is in DegreeWorks now. If you have one of these is red in DegreeWorks and still needs to be completed, simply mark that as planned, and you can put over here that's to be decided, or you can already pre-choose which of the humanities and sciences, social behavioral, or natural physical sciences you plan to take. Finally, down here are just the 3 more or 9 credits it takes to get to those first 30 university core credits. And these classes need to be humanities and sciences. They can't be classes from the School of Business or Arts or Mass Comm or Education or Wilder School. They need to be from humanities and sciences. If you're not sure what to put there, that's perfectly okay. Your advisor can help you fill that part out. Now's the really interesting part of the form. This is the logic puzzle in which you're going to put together what it is you intend to do at VCU that will make you unique, different, and give you a knowledge base that will make you very competitive in the career market. This particular student that we're using as an example has decided she wants to do screenplay writing and other things like that, and so she's studying English and sociology. She's calling her focus storytelling for and about people. You need not come up with the title till you're done coming up with the classes. In fact, I think that's a better idea. Sometimes the title becomes more apparent to you once you know what classes are involved. The student is deciding to get an English minor and a sociology minor and putting those together. They're in progress because they've had this plan idea for a while on 15 credits currently here in the spring 2020 semester. They have some classes completed and they've got some classes planned. So this shows you that this part of the form can be past, present, and future. It need not be made up of all future planned courses. Down here, you'll see the UNIV core courses that are expected of all interdisciplinary studies majors. As you can see, this student went ahead and started the semester in UNIV 301 while she was still working on the declaration. That's perfectly okay. Your advisor can help you with that. They have longer than 3 semesters, or exactly 3 semesters left to complete college, so they'll be taking both UNIV 499 and 303. Once you've put in the classes that you're going to take, you want to put the credits they're worth in this column if they're low-level classes, 101, 202, and the credits it's worth in this column if it's upper level, English 439 or English 307. You want to add up the upper level classes down here and the lower level classes here so that it's quick and easy for the advisor and director to see that you have at least 24 of upper level credits in the program. Next, a student has to designate when they've taken a course or when they plan to take a course. This is very important to the director and advisor, knowing that what you've put down is attainable and achievable. For instance, if you put down English 447 and your advisor looks it up after you've turned in the declaration and finds out that English 447 is only ever offered in the fall, you'll get feedback from the advisor that that will need to be corrected. And that, of course, may cause a domino effect on when you plan to take other courses. So it's important to look all these things up and know that these courses are available to you and when they're available to you. Many courses at VCU are offered only in the fall or only in the spring, and many courses are offered year-round, including summer. Your advisor will be looking all of those up after you've come up with the coursework to make sure that what you've got here is achievable and attainable, as I said. After you've finished your focus area, the next section is additional required courses. So these should all be planned. There's no reason here to list courses that you have in progress or that you have completed in the past. Your advisor is always looking at this document next to degree works, and so we see what you've completed in the past. We don't need to have you rewrite it here in this form. So what might go in here? Well, for the case of this student, they had 71 credits completed, but no upper level when they came into the program. In putting together their declaration, they had 71 completed, 15 in progress. They added 24 more to the focus area, making only 110. But as you recall, we need 120 total credits to graduate from VCU. Therefore, additional required courses in this section need to add up to 10 credits. You need not decide what these courses are now. You can decide later, or you can identify them if you want to. In fact, another thing that you might use this area for is to put in courses that will complete a minor. Perhaps you've got 4 out of 6 minor courses in the focus area, and you know there's 2 other courses you'll need to finish the minor. You could put them down here in additional required courses. Your advisor is going to help do the math to make sure that you're not going over anything necessary to complete college at VCU. And we'll discuss that with you if the math doesn't add up, or encourage you to add more classes if necessary in order to meet the requirements of the university. We're going to ask you what your focus discipline is made up of. It might be made up of minors, but it might not be. You can always put no in here, and then you don't need to put any of the requirements over here if you're not planning to get a minor. And very often students will choose 4 classes from one area, 3 from another, and maybe 4 more from a third discipline. There's no requirement to get minors in order to get an interdisciplinary studies degree. So why do some students think that you have to have minors? There are several reasons that students do get minors that are also helpful and you should know about. 1, minors are a group of classes that very learned people got together and decided would be the best view of this degree and degree field. 2, minors add up mathematically really well to the required number of credits needed in a focus area. But most importantly, number 3, there are some programs at the university that are not necessarily accessible to people outside the program. Minors often give you access to what you need to get into some of those classes. So for instance, School of the Arts, it's not easy to get into any fashion class, and sometimes impossible unless you're pursuing a fashion merchandising minor. All schools and programs at the university have recently begun adding courses for non-majors due to the new funding model at VCU. This is great news for interdisciplinary studies students. Don't be afraid to dream it and come in and talk to an advisor about what you might want to put together, whether a minor exists in that program or not. We'll help guide you in all that you need to know. Finally, we're going to go back to some more data. We ask you to repeat your GPA so that we know you know it, how many credits you've completed in total for university credits, not just VCU, how many credits you've completed that were 300 or 400 level, how many 300 or 400 level courses that you've put in the plan to make sure that you know how to get to 45 in order to graduate. This would mean that you have none left if you've got 45 in the plan. And then how many credits you took at VCU. And so this figure is often not easy to find. You can find it in your transcript totals under total institution right here. This is an example that doesn't match this, so don't worry about that. But just know that you can look it up yourself. If you haven't looked it up, your advisor will look it up for you. No big problem there. And finally, you have to write a goal statement. An interdisciplinary studies degree is not a general studies degree in which you can just get together 120 credits and move on. You have to have a planful, articulate reason for studying what you're studying, according to our accreditation at Virginia Commonwealth University. This makes your interdisciplinary studies degree a powerful degree, so please understand why it's important that you define your reason for doing what you're doing. It can be very, very specific, or it can be a much broader stroke if you're really not sure what you want to do after college, but you know what you have passion in and you know what the intersection of those passions are. Thank you. This completes our interdisciplinary studies information session. I'm sure you have plenty of questions, but you're going to be able to ask those of your advisor in your future meeting. To request an appointment now with your advisor, email them, and you can pause the video now in order to write down the correct email that you need and put in the subject info video complete. That will tell your advisor that you've gotten this preliminary information and will be excited to meet with you. Thanks again for joining us for the Interdisciplinary Studies Information Session.